Well, that's it. We've got a good high vantage point here. Just down here is the gum tree line of the Gascoyne River. Okay, so that's pretty cool. But where we are now, the river runs east-west and there's a big bend that runs north. We're on that western side near the top of the bend. We go up there and then run back that way before heading in a more easterly direction. When you're in a place like this, it's good to have a little check out, and you start seeing that big gum tree line, you know you're coming into a river. Now, as I said, it's not always necessary there's water in it, but big rivers like this, if you follow them far enough, you're sure to find some water. Thanks, Simon, for the telescope. That's that big peak way off in the distance. That's Pyramid Hill. That's how far we've come now, and heading on down to the river. Coming to a really beautiful part of the river. Down there, mate. Just crossed a nice little Gascoyne line. Gascoyne's this way. We've come to a nice junction right here on the Gascoyne River. So we're going to head down. It's a beautiful spot and have a look at this. Walk up, big fella. Just come down the little junction here, main branch of the Gascoyne here. You've already seen some green tick. Come on, big fella. It's always beautiful getting to your rivers, your big river gum trees. No water in here at the moment. It's not this part anyway. It's worth coming down and have a look and get these guys, see what the river's like. All right, boys, go and have a look. It's such an amazing part of the country. The upper reaches of the Gascoyne River. It's a junction of another creek. There's beautiful gum trees up here. And the camels are doing really well. Especially these guys. They never really would have ever seen such big trees like this and working their way through them. It's pretty amazing. They're doing really well. But anyway, we'll go and find a camp now and pull up and enjoy this little part of the country. Okay, boys, walk up. Last night the plan was we're going to get to a lovely camp on the Gascoyne River, but as we come further north it's got really barren and we had to keep walking and walking and walking till late yesterday afternoon to even find a few trees for these guys to drink. So the Gascoyne's just down this way. We've got to come up around it and head towards Yinithara. You can see how barren it is, but we've got the cork tree well. Water in the trough, so we're going to give these guys a drink. It's been a couple of days for them now, but it's got really scarce, the food now. It's just got so dry, so much different to where we were down there. Obviously the rain hasn't visited this country, so this is where big days come into it. You've got to keep marching until you find the right trees for your animals, otherwise they're going to have to camp without food. And we don't want these bulls to go without dinner. They might get a little bit grumpy. But anyway, we'll give them a drink and then we'll march on towards Inithara, and hopefully we can find some good feed along the way. I suppose another advantage of a camel is, even though he's having a nice big drink now, it's been a couple of days, is this barrenness out here. Say if you're working pack horses in this country, you're going to be in a bit of trouble out here because there's no grass left. It's in pretty much drought conditions out here. Camel's advantage is he's a top grazer. He's a tree eater, and there's still a bit of wattle around, so he'll do it right out here. And little Miss Black over there. But as I was saying, without the grass or any food on the ground, this is once again where the camel comes into his own. It's probably got a bit of hard country coming up ahead. It's going to get stony, rocky, and we're going to get a fair bit of this for a fair way because the rains haven't visited. So we'll just have to keep an eye on them and always pick your camp when it comes. We need 5 good trees for these guys to eat. They're pretty happy with that. But yeah, it's getting pretty dry. You're finished? Where we are now is right at the most northern point of the Gascoyne River, where it bends right up. And just down over here is a beautiful waterhole. Even though the country is completely barren, it's a large waterhole down there. And she's pretty excited to be here and hanging out with the boys. Little Miss Black, she's hanging down there with the car, keeping Lou company there, and she's doing really well. Hey, you guys are doing really well together. She's not minding being away from the boys, as long as she gets to see them all the time. But anyway, we'll pull up here for a little bit. We'll go down and check out that waterhole down there. And you guys can have a chill, eh? Get a suntan or something. Pretty amazing, isn't it? Beautiful, deep, big, long waterhole there, stretching all the way down there. Such a massive chunk of water. Great to see, especially when you're walking camels. Now, one advantage of the old camels, you really get to those out of the reach places. Another place that seldom people would ever see is this waterhole. I'd say it's got to be permanent. Big boulder country down here, good clear water. Oh, I even see some little fish in here. So that's telling me that this waterhole will be permanent here on the Gascoyne River. That's good water. We've got things living in here in this waterhole, and that's a sign you can drink it. This is nice and fresh, beautiful rainwater. We're getting in there. Now, one advantage of this is you can have a cool off and wash your clothes all at the same time. Well, that's lovely in here. The one advantage of this river, no crocodiles of course. Just beautiful, full of dragonflies here at the moment, and they look like they're breeding. So What a classic little oasis in the middle of nowhere. Anyway, we might have a nice little chill. Nice and steady, boys. Stand there, you mob. We're certainly coming to some interesting country here. Getting towards that rocky sort of the hills, and where we're going now, we're not far from Thara, the station, and we're heading our way up to Mount Augustus, the biggest rock in the world. So this is the start of all the big hills and stones, but once again, the food's pretty barren. So that's our priority, to find a camel camp with enough trees that these guys can eat, which can be tricky when you get up to this part of the country. We've heard it's been pretty dry up this way, so we've got to pick it, and we've got to pick it right. But anyway, the beauty of camels, they can handle some of the harshest country in Australia. All right, boys, let's walk up